Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining me. I'm Marg from Creative Stamping with Marg. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from St. Albert, Alberta, Canada. Today, lots of things to tell you Stampin' Up! Wise, and we're going to make a fun fold card today. So let's get right down to my desk. All right, on my desk, you will see the paper pumpkin kit for April. I still have that here to show you. This one's called Inked Occasions. You need to just subscribe before April the 10th. And it makes 9 cards, 3 of each designs, textured gold foil on card bases and sentiments, pre-cut paper pieces, and butterfly embellishments. Your ink spot for this one is going to be Berry Burst. So it looks like a beautiful kit, a beautiful box. Okay, and there are dies that go along with April, May, and June. These are add-on dies. The number is here, 166238. They are $16.50. For the April kit, the word hugs is the die that's going to go with it. June, you get 2 of these dies, and May, you would get that label die. All right, put that to the side. Now, as of yesterday, Stampin' Up! Put 3 new kits onto the online store, beautiful kits, and they added a ton of things to the last chance list. So that's online also. You need to go and have a look at that. Lots of things are retiring because our new catalog is coming up in May. So lots of things are retiring. And so when these items on the last chance list are gone, they are gone. So make sure if you were wanting something that you go and look there. Okay, you also will see that I have the 5 in colors that are leaving us when our new catalog comes out. And today we will be using one of those, I will show you a card made from the Wild Wheat. We are going to do a fun fold card today, and it is one of my cards from my fun fold card kit. And I have shown these to you before. I've done a video on this double flap card that looks like this. And then there was this card. It's a Z fold. And there was this card. Lots of fun in this card. And then today I'm going to demonstrate this. I'm going to call this a Zig Zag fold because it goes like this and folds flat like that. I'm going to demonstrate this one today. And this is the one that was done in the Wild Wheat. So that's, like I said, one of our retiring colors. So these 4 cards are part of my Fun Fold card kit. If you wanted one of these kits, I can ship them anywhere in Canada for $5. They cost $15. The $5 is extra for the postage. They can be porch pickups if you live in my area. So you would get everything to make these 4 cards with envelopes. The only thing I can't do for you is stamp, so you have to use your own stamp sets. I provide a PDF that looks like this. And like I said, there is a video, a YouTube video on this one, and today you will get how to put this one together. These other 2 are fairly simple. All right. I think that's all about the card kit. Please let me know if you want one. I have shipped one out yesterday all the way to Prince Edward Island, so that's kind of cool. Thanks, Shirley, for ordering. If you need to get a hold of me, I've got my email address up there now that you can see it, mrgorn@shaw.ca, or you can go to my Stampin' Up! Website, margaretgorn.stampinup.net, and can contact me through that. All right, so I'm going to move all that to the side. We are not using in colors today, but I will leave that card there because that's my inspiration. All right, today we are using Mossy Meadow as our card base. Your card base is 4 1/4 by 11, and we did a bunch of scoring on it. So I will show you. I've already scored mine. The first score line is at 2 3/4, 4 1/4, 7 1/4, and 8 1/2. Now, they aren't exactly equal. Once you fold them, you'll see. This one on this side is 2 1/2 inches. You'll see there, 2.5 inches. That's going to be our inside of our card. This is a larger one. It's 2 3/4, so that's the front of our card. So we'll just start by folding it this way and back again, and that way and back again. And you'll need to use your bone folder to make sure all those creases are nice and crisp. So there we go. Okay. This one. And this one. All right, so there it is. Like I say, I call it a zigzag, and it has 2 panels that you can see on this one. Okay, you will also need some kind of cardstock, a different color. Today I'm using Very Vanilla. These are 4x4. You need 2 of these. You need 2 pieces of DSP that are 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. I'm going to do something a little different today. I showed you a card from my paper pumpkin kit, the March kit, Daisy Daydream. I showed you a card from that last week that I had made with the window in it. That's it here. So today, for my DSP, I cut up one of the card bases out of this kit. These are 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. So you're going to use any cardstock, but I just chose to use mine out of the kit. All right, so now the big decision is which piece of DSP goes on the front and which goes on the inside. What I chose here is sort of the watercolorish background one to go there because we're putting a bunch of things on top of it. Then when I opened it, it was sort of the more scenic piece. So I decided for this, I would do this one for the front and this one with the daisies on it for the next one. So we can glue those on. You also need something to do your greeting, and I've cut I'm using the Something Fancy dies today, which are on the last chance list. If anyone's interested in them, they will be gone. So this is the stamp set. I've used it a lot, and these are the dies. So today I'm using this die for the happy birthday, and you can see I've stamped mine already. And I'm using this die for a piece of gold foil that I cut, and then I put it through the Hive embossing folder. Now I know the Hive embossing folder is retired, but thankfully I kept it because it kind of goes with this whole theme of bees and flowers and whatnot. So that's what I've used for that. I always encourage you to, use what you have. So I'm going to put that on top of that. And you also are going to need a piece of cardstock that you're going to write on. So this would have to be Very Vanilla or Basic Beige or white. This one is 2 1/4 by 4, and it's going to go on the back panel. Now, I've already stamped mine, and again, it's from Something Fancy. I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration. It's going to go on the back like that, and I'll be able to write my message there. I also have some die-cut pieces from the kit, so they're the daisies, and I also cut some leaves from Cheerful Daisies, which is also on the last chance list. So it comes, there's the stamp set, it comes with dies. So there's one big die like this, and then there's all these dies. Nice set. Okay, so I took this big die and I just cut myself some leaves from here that I'm going to use to embellish our front. So we'll look at that when we get that far. I also thought I might use some ribbon. And this Daffodil Delight ribbon is also on the last chance list. So you'll want to take advantage of that. I also have some white ribbon here that I brought in. This is the, what is this called? The woven 1/2 inch. And I didn't know if I'm going to use it or not, but I brought that in also. And I do have some embellishments, but we'll talk about that all later. All right, let's get gluing. So I think what we'll do, bring in my silicone mat here, and we'll just start gluing these things. I am using my Tombow liquid glue to glue these pieces on. This particular fold works really nicely with scenery paper, as you can see with when I use the Thoughtful Journey paper, but it works for all kinds of paper, so it is a really fun kind of card. All right, so I'm just centering my DSP on there. Do the other one. This was a really nice paper pumpkin kit. Had lots of possibilities, and so many ideas were online for it. People did some great things with it. I've made a Mother's Day card from it already, so I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. All right, I'm going to glue this greeting piece in the back because there's nothing else that we need to add to it because it's already stamped. I do suggest you do your stamping first before you glue on, because if you make a mistake, you can always turn your paper over, or worst case scenario, you have to get a new piece of paper. Okay, so there's my inside. Then, like I said, I decided I would use this one for the front and this one for the next piece going in there. So I am going to glue this on. Now, remembering, it's only getting glued just on the green here. You don't want to glue on the whole piece of this. So I put the glue here, knowing full well that it will look like this. There's a bit of an edge around it, so don't go all the way to the edge. But you can put it on like this. Now, you really want to be careful that this gets on here straight. So I'm going to use my grid paper, and hopefully I can do a good job of this. I don't think it matters which way I put this. I kind of liked it just the way it was like that. So I am going to sit it down, looking at my top, bottom, and left edge, and just putting it down like that. Looks really good. I'm going to put this one on, and I think I'm going to put it just this way again. Now, it's going on the second sort of zig or zag. And again, it's only being glued on the green part, so don't glue it on here. And I am going to just kind of open this so I can see it, and leaving an edge around, because you know it's not going all the way. The only edge it is going to is this one right here, the fold, but the rest of it, it's not touching the top, bottom, or the edges. Now, when you're gluing this on, again, I want to center it. It's a little harder to see this, but I'm going to close my card and make sure that it covers the writing piece that was there, and it's straight along the edges with this piece. So that looks good to me. So that's as easy as that is. And you can see just has a little edge all the way around like the other one. So there's the basic premise of your card. Really easy, stands up really pretty, and folds to go into an envelope. All right, let's decorate our front. I told you I had a bunch of die cuts out of the kit. So this kit had all these daisy die cuts in it. I have already played with them a little bit and made them a little more 3D. These are the leaves that I cut out of the dies from the Cheerful Daisies. So, whoops, and that fell off of there. I knew that was going to happen. It's okay, I don't really need that little piece. So this is what it looks like. And I had cut it again, but it kind of fell apart there, which is fine. We're not going to see all of this. And then my greeting with this and this. And I think what I might do is glue the foil right down and put the greeting up on dimensionals. So I brought in my mini dimensionals, thinking that I could use them. And I also would like, I had mentioned ribbon. So I think I will, my thought about the ribbon was, could I have a couple of ends of ribbon like this? And it actually could go out the far end here. I was thinking that I could put the ribbon out the end of this like that, and maybe put some yellow on it. Like that. I thought that would be cute. don't know about the yellow, if I wanted to add the yellow on there or not, but I think I will cut a piece of ribbon. Like that. I'm just going to trim my ends a bit. That, and put it behind this, like that. And it can hang over onto this edge, that's fine. And I don't know about the yellow, if I want to do the yellow or not. I was sort of thinking that I could have put the yellow just on top of here like this. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think I should add the yellow to it? Oh, I don't know. Could have, well, let's cut the yellow. I'm going to cut myself a piece of yellow about that long, and we'll just see what I want to do with it. Okay. So I've got this like this, and this like this. Kind of like the yellow on there, it kind of adds something to it, so let's do it. So what I think I will do is take my Stamp and Seal and put just a little bit on the end there, and then maybe I can stick these on here, and I can trim them once we get it looking the way we want. That went a little wonky there. Sorry, I'm not in camera here. Don't know if I like that, but we'll see. Piece off. Okay, so let's just see what I think of that. Put this down and have it sticking off like that. All right, I'm just going to glue this down. So again, I'm using my Tombow liquid glue. This is embossed, of course, so we want to make sure there's a fair amount of glue on here. Okay. And I think I want it just down at the bottom here like this. Like that. All right. And then I can put my greeting on. I put mini dimensionals on it. Just peel your backings off. This is a very narrow greeting with the happy birthday on it. Okay, and I'm going to just center it in here like that. All right. So there we have that. And then the decorating of the front, I think I was just going to put these daisies kind of all over here, just like that, and tuck the leaves in. I'm going to put them up on a dimensional. I think they can use a regular dimensional on these ones. And I have manipulated the paper a little bit with my bone folder just to round them out and then flip the petals up a little bit, just because I like them to have a little bit of dimension before I put them down. Okay, I'm thinking I'm going to put this one here, and we'll tuck those green leaves underneath once I've got my daisies down. There. And take all these backings off. And I'm just going to lay this, and I'm not pressing it down yet because I'm not sure that's where I want that one. And then last but not least, this little one. Like that. And this one I think I'll tuck in here a little bit more, just like that. Okay. And I also, in this kit, there was these little cute bumblebees. So I've put some Wink of Stella on his wings, and I will put a little I don't know if I want a dimensional on him or not. Let's just see. Or I might just place him. I actually thought he could go on this one. I thought that would be interesting, but would he be in the way of closing your card? Not sure. So we'll leave him for a second. Okay, let's work with our leaves. I thought I could just tuck these leaves under here somehow. That. Then I have this one here. Could be here. And this one over here could be there. That looks good. So we just need a little glue on each one, and we'll tuck them underneath there. Turn them over on my... It's funny, when I tuck this one in here, you don't see that little leaf, so I'll be a little more mindful of that when I go to tuck it in. A little bit of glue on all of this. And again, it's going to be tucked underneath, so you're not going to see the glue. And your Take Your Pick tool is a really good tool to use to stick these down on your paper when you're tucking them in. So let's put these ones on. Just want it tucked under all the petals. And you have to be mindful that it can't stick out over your card at the top there. So I think I will just do that. I think that's okay. And this little leaf, I kind of wanted him showing, but move him over a little bit, okay? And then this one, just tuck it in here maybe so that each one had a leaf coming from it maybe, would be my thought. If I can get that in there. There we go. Just get the glue down. Oh, and my last one. Probably doesn't have any glue on it. It's now on my hand. There we go. All right, so I will stick this one in here. Just like that. All right. I like the way that looks. I think it's very pretty. What do you think? Okay, and then we'll open it to that, and then open it to that. All right, now what do we think about this little bee? I could put him here, or I could put him here. Just don't, if he's going to be on a dimensional, I think he has to be on here, not underneath. So I will put him on a dimensional. I think he needs a mini. He's a little guy. Just put him like that. And I think we'll just, oops, tuck him in onto the flower right on the corner there. There. All right. So he won't get caught when you close your card, but he's a little bit of interest for that second layer. All right, so there's our card. Not difficult, and yet quite effective, I think. I like the way it looks when it's standing. And I did bring in some embellishments in case we thought we wanted something. I did bring in, these are the gold textured adhesive back dots, which are on the last chance list right now. And I brought in some retired gold pearls that we had, because I thought they're nice and small. They might just add a little bit. So that or that. I think I'll go with the gold just because I have the gold on my label. But remember, these are very pretty and on the last chance list. So if you like them, it would be an opportunity to get them. And I'm just going to add these around my flower here. Again, make sure you're using up the things that you already have, because Stampin' Up! Has so many beautiful things that it's hard to use them all, I find. There we go. Whoops. There we go. All right, there's our card. I think that turned out really pretty. And you could have recreated this card with different designer series paper, of course, but with this Cheerful Daisies, you have all the daisies that you can cut out. So you could have done very similar to what I did with my paper pumpkin kit. So there's our cards. The Zig Zag Fold, I guess I'm going to call it. And I hope everybody enjoyed that. And please, please check out the last chance list, because there's some wonderful things on there, things that are discounted. Some things are not, but like I say, once they're gone, they're gone. So if there's stamp sets or embellishments or paper, or there's embossing folders on there, I actually pulled all the things that I own that are on the last chance list, and I have a whole bin of things. So there's a lot that is disappearing. So please take a good look at that. And if you enjoyed this video, I sure appreciate your thumbs up. If you're interested in the card kit, which again, I will put the cards out here. These are the 4 cards that are in that kit. You can contact me at my email address, mrgorn@shaw.ca, or you can go to my Stampin' Up! Website, which is margaretgorn.stampinup.net, and contact me through that. All right. Hope everybody has a great week.